Welcome to the March 23rd, 2023 hearing of the Seminole County Code Enforcement Board. Before we begin, I'd like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before the Code Enforcement Board. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's Government and Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or arguments to offer. It is required that every person who appears before the Code Enforcement Board needs to be registered with the clerk. She's over here to my left, your right. The cases where the respondents are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all cases where the respondents are present have been heard, the Code Enforcement Board will hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for the respondents, which is in front of me. The county will present their case, and then the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments to only information related to your case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before the Code Enforcement Board. The board will then make their decisions based on the evidence and testimony presented by both parties. All proceedings before the Code Enforcement Board are electronically recorded, so please directly speak into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or language barrier, please inform the clerk upon registration. All cell phones and other electronic devices are to be turned off or silenced inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. And at this point, we're going to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and roll call, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, if you do roll call, please.
Present.
Kevin Ross Nandino.
Present.
Dudley Bates.
Here.
John Peterson.
Not
Dennis
yet.
Warren.
Here.
Yvette Brown. Here.
Thank you. Normally, we revise the agenda. I don't think...
Swear in.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. If you're here to speak on any behalf of any case, please stand up and be sworn in by the clerk. Stand up and raise your right hand.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give us the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we have one respondent party present, which is number 2 on our agenda. Case number 1, however, there's been a request by staff to hear that one first because of some scheduling issues, so we're just going to go in the order of the agenda. The parties that are present are number 2 on the agenda. So we'll start with number 1 to knock that out, which is case number 1930 CEB Kenneth J. Lima II, 317 Oakhurst Street, Altamont Springs, 32701. This is Officer Judges.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And we don't have any respondents here, so go ahead and present, please.
Tamara Judges, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, East Region Code Enforcement. For the record, I am submitting a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. Thank you. This is case 1930 CEB Kenneth J. Lima II. The repeat violation is located at 317 Oakhurst Street, Altamont Springs, 32701. The repeat violation charged is Seminole County, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. The violation was first observed on 9/17 of 2018. The Code Board order was issued on 2/28/2019. The compliance date was issued for 2/28/2019. Multiple follow-up inspections took place, and the last inspection was on 3/22 of 2023. Results of the following follow-up inspections, the uncultivated vegetation remains on the property. And then we have some slides here. This was originally Officer Hurd's case, so she is now retired. So this was from February 3rd of 2020, one of her follow-ups. Then we have February 24th of 2020. 9/8 of 2021, a continuation of that date. Then we have 9/21 of 22, and then a continuation of that date. And then I started here November 18th, 2022 on this case with my follow-up. January 12th of this year. And then March 10th of this year. And then my most recent follow-up of March 22nd of this year. And then the continuation. The suggested recommendation is based on the testimony and evidence presented in CSC number 1930 CEB. It is determined that the respondent, Kenneth J. Lima II, is the owner of the record of the property located at 317 Oakhurst Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined, in 95.3B. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board base the findings of the fact, conclusions of law, and order issued on February 28, 2019. The Code Enforcement Board issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $28,100 for the 562 days of repeat violation from September 8, 2011, through and including March 23, 2023. And the fine shall continue to accrue $50 per day for every day the violation continues or is repeated after March 23rd of 2023. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for officer judges? Let me note for the record also, Mr. Peterson has joined us and is part of the board. Thank you, Don. Ms. Townsend?
Could we see your slides again of the property?
Sure.
I was reading, I missed
That's
them.
okay.
Any questions?
I just have a couple of quick questions. Has there been any communication with the property owner at all?
Since I've taken over the case, I've tried to call Mr. Lima multiple times and left voicemails, and he hasn't returned my phone calls.
That's what I figured.
Anyone else? The recommendation is to impose a lien in the amount of $28,100 for 562 days of repeat violation. And that's what's on the table. We already reduced this one time when it came to compliance. It's not a compliance at this time, that's correct.
That is correct, yes.
That's where we're at.
I move the staff recommendation.
I will, 2 seconds on that.
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Ross to accept staff's recommendation as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Thank you. One nay, if you have that recorded. Anything you want to, you don't have to. I was just curious if you want to share any.
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
I don't wish to make a statement.
Okay. Brings us to the next case, which is case number 23-08 CEB David B. Wallenfels, 410 East South 5th Street, Chiliota, Florida 32766. And Officer Hill. Oh, we have oh, I'm sorry. Sir, could you step up to the table? Thank you. And when you get comfortable seated in there, if you just say your name.
Yes. David B. Wallenfels?
Thank you. You're obviously the owner of the property, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Officer Hill.
Officer Hill, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement, East Region. I'm submitting a copy of my PowerPoint to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This is case 2203 CEB, David B. Wallenfels, located at 410 East 5th Street. Violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E, abandoned vehicle. My initial inspection was on June 28th, 2022, with notice to respondents on July 20th, and July 27th was a verbal, and January 4th of 2023, with compliance dates of August 3rd, 2022, a verbal on September 6th of 2022, and January 18th of this year, with multiple follow-up inspections, including this morning. The results of my inspection was the violation of the inoperable vehicle remains on the subject property. These photos were taken on my initial inspection on June 28th of 2022. These photos were taken on July 14th, 2022. Photos were taken on September 8th of 2022. Photos were taken October 17th of 2022. Photos were taken November 3rd, 2022. Photos were taken December 8th, 2022. These photos were taken January 3rd of this year. These photos were taken January 23rd of this year. These photos were taken the day of my posting on March 10th of this year. And this photo was taken this morning. The suggested recommendation is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case 2308 CEB. Is determined that the respondent, David B. Wallenfels, is the owner of record located at 410 East 5th Street in Seminole County, as determined by property appraiser records, in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3E. It's further recommended the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of April 7th, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove, repair, or place abandoned vehicles inside a legally permitted permanent enclosed structure or legally permitted permanent carport. Respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Hill? Seeing none, sir, this is your opportunity to say whatever you like and address this. You saw the recommendation is to have it corrected by April 7th, or there'll be fines at $100 per day. So that's what we're looking at.
Yes, sir. I work out of town as a drapery installer, window treatment installer. So a lot of times I'm not in town, and when I am, these things are fact. I did sell the car on Tuesday of this last week. I'm waiting for the gentleman to come pick it up. I don't know why. He's got a trailer out in front of his yard. He resides at 310. His name's Joey. That's all I know. He gave me the money. I gave him the title. I'd like to have him come pick it up. Maybe I should put a little more pressure on that situation. And I've tried to get everything else taken care of as far as the carport and things of that nature. I apologize for it not being done sooner. That's on me. That's my fault. But since I have got it sold, I'm hoping that everything will turn out just fine as soon as he can come pick it up. Who knows, he may have picked it up already today. So I'm trying my best to get it off the property at this time.
Board members, any questions for Mr. Wallenfels? Good. So you're okay with the date, April 7th? You'll have it out by then?
If I have to hire a tow truck to tow it down to his property, I'll do so, yes, sir.
I think we're probably ready to make a motion.
Chair, I'll make a motion that we go with staff recommendation and expect what he said to be true.
Second, sir.
Motion by Mr. Peterson, second by Ms. Townsend, to accept staff's recommendation as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, just, you get that done by April 7th. It's been a long
Absolutely.
time. I think it's been almost a year now, so you,
No, I understand, thank you, and I appreciate everyone's patience with that.
sure. Folks, is there any particular case you're not going to be speaking today? I'd certainly bring it to the front of the line if there is. No?
Pause to the consent agenda.
Okay.
So you can keep going. Move
Okay.
on to the next page.
The next case is 23-11 CEB, JDL Perez, 1216 Oak Street, Altamont Springs, Florida 32701. Officer Henson.
Specialist Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement, North Region. For the record, I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This is case 23-11-CEB. The violation is located at 1216 Oak Street, Seminole County, Florida, as determined through the property appraiser's office. The violation charged is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. This case was originally opened by Officer Hurd. Officer Hurd first observed the violation on August 26, 2021. A violation was issued on August 11th, 2022, September 8th, 2022, and October 3rd, 2022, with a compliance date of September 3rd, 2022, September 23rd, 2022, and October 21st, 2022. Follow-up inspections were done on September 7th, 2022, September 21st, 2022, September 26th, 2022, October 24th, 2022, November 21st, 2022, November 30th, 2022, January 12th, 2023, March 10th, 2023, and March 23rd, 2023. The results of the follow-up inspections of the violation remain on the subject's property. This photo was taken on August 26, 2021 by Officer Hurd, showing the uncultivated vegetation. These photos were taken August 10th by Officer Hurd. This photo was taken September 8th, 2022 by Officer Hurd. These photos were taken September 26, 2022 by Officer Hurd. And these photos were taken October 25th, 2022 by Officer Hurd. This photo was taken on the 21st, 2022 by myself. The next photos were taken March 10th, 2023 when I did the notice of posting of hearing. And these photos were taken March 22nd, yesterday, and the violation still remains. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement specialist is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 23-11-CEB. It is determined that the respondent, J.L. Perez, is the owner of record of the property located at 1216 Oak Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraisers, in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. It is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of April 7, 2023. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove all uncultivated vegetation in excess of 8 inches in height from the subject's property. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact Code Enforcement Specialist Henson to arrange for an inspection to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson? I just have one. Something like this where the people don't show up and then they've got an April 7th deadline. Do you all notify them? Do you notify? Does anybody, or is it on them to find out? I'm just curious. Not that it
The
matters.
letter goes out with a copy of the order to them.
Okay.
I do have a question about communications with the homeowners. It seems this has been going on for a long time. Has there been much of any communication from them? I know we go out there, but them responding to us?
Since I've taken it over, no. The first time I went to the property, I actually left a door hanger for just a written warning before I did any other activity with the property. I never heard anything back from them. And every time I go, I knock on the door and no one ever answers.
Does it look like a property that's occupied, or is it?
Yes, there's
Okay.
dogs inside, and I spoke to a neighbor.
Okay. Then I would like to make a recommendation that's a little different than what's been proposed. I don't know what our max penalty is, but I think we need to get these people's attention, and I don't think $50 a day is going to get it. So I would recommend that they do comply by April 7th. That's fine, to remove everything, but I think the fine should be, what is our maximum, Yvette?
$250.
That I would recommend that the maximum fine be offered to get their attention, because this is 2 years.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Mr. Peterson. to accept staff's recommendation with a deadline of April 7th. However, making the fine from that point forward at $250 per day. Everyone understand the motion? Any questions, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
You know, I happen to have some sort of other agenda form in here, and none of these items are on it. And I would personally like to read as we go along. And I noticed that on my phone, I saw these, but none of them are in here.
Well, hopefully I got the right one.
So far, you're fine.
Okay, there's only one respondent left, I think.
Well, yours is not the same?
Well,
Okay.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
So the only thing that's left on your agenda are the two lien items
For one.
for one respondent, and so you can do that as a consent.
Read mine?
Okay.
Remember
But
reading
yeah,
about these.
so
Okay.
Mine's fine.
yours is fine? Mr. Bates, is yours okay? Your agenda?
Agenda-
Does your agenda look okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Mine's
looks
good.
like hers was also,
Oh, Catherine?
Catherine's was also, okay. All
Thank
right,
you very much.
Okay, the only remaining course of business today is a request for a lien on, there's two cases, I'll read them into the record. 22-26 CEB Ruth A. McAdams, 305 Sweetwater Club Circle, Longwood, Florida 32779. Same respondent. However, companion case 22-27 CEB, Ruth A. McAdams, same address. The first case, the recommendation is for this board to impose a lien of $33,600 for 224 days of noncompliance. Unless we see any discussion, we'll take them both together. As I said, the second one is to impose a lien for that particular case for $11,200 for 224 days of noncompliance. Does anyone want to discuss that? Or if you're ready to
Have
make
we had
a...
any contact from this person at all?
you need the officer.
He's coming.
Also, while he's walking up here, the fine will continue to accrue in each case until the property does come into compliance.
Thank you. That first one would be at $150 a day, and the second one at $50 per day. Officer Bavaro.
Officer Bavaro, Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement. So we did have contact with the property owner, Miss Adams' daughter. They essentially walked away from the property. There were some issues with the house and I guess financial issues, and they did draft a letter to us saying that they're pretty much washed their hands of it. So it's still in violation today. There's another issue that another department's dealing with the structure on it. That's really all I have to report. There's no activity. There's never been any moving forward on correcting anything. The Seminole County government abated the pool because it was unsecured, so my recommendation would be to impose both liens.
And the house is empty?
House is vacant.
Any other questions? Or a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is the two items that we just heard.
I will move to accept the consent agenda item as written.
Motion by Mr. Ross, second by Ms. Townsend, to approve the two items that are listed on the consent agenda as they are listed, which are the fines, as I noted, and the additional per day for each day it continues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, we already did that.
Oh, we already did that?
Yeah.
Did I got lost.
Yeah, we already
Who made the
did the
motion?
second.
Who's on first?
My mistake.
So my motion.
Mr. Ross made the motion, Mr.
Catherine, second.
Townsend.
Oh, Ms. Townsend,
Ms. Townsend.
second.
It's okay, I didn't hear it. My bad, as they say.
Just get a good vote.
So that.
Call it to vote. Just
we
vote
didn't
one
vote?
more time.
Okay, so we're going to clarify just one more vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. cases not heard, there's explanation on those in your agenda if you need it. Most of them, I think they came into compliance. We need to approve are there minutes we have to approve? I don't see it on the...
No, because Ms. Hames was not present. She signed off on them.
They
Okay.
haven't been approved.
Okay, so we'll do that another time. Okay.
To go next month.
Okay, so we're done, right?
Right, so for old business, we're going to have our workshop, if everyone can attend next month on April 27th. Let's meet here at noon, a little before noon, and we'll find a room. We always do downstairs. Our clerk will let us know exactly what room number to come to. Bring your lunch, please, little bag lunch, and we'll do about an hour or so of a workshop.
Is that on our code day?
Regular code day.
Okay.
Thursday, April 27th at noon. And then at that meeting, you'll also have your election of your chair and your vice chair. So we'll take care of that under
And
new
what
business.
time are you buying lunch? Sorry.
I will not be buying lunch. I asked you to bring your brown paperback lunch,
Peanut butter sandwich? yeah?
peanut butter sandwiches, and a soda, but I think there are vending machines in case you forget to bring a snack or soda, but please bring something.
No Superman lunch boxes, though?
No Superman lunch boxes. All right, thank you all for letting us know you're going to be here today, too. It's important to keep the clerk, in advance notice. And
Any other issues anybody may have for old business, anything? No? I got a motion to adjourn by Mr. Ross. I saw it coming out. Second by Mr. Peterson.
Be quick.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank
It's
you.
the fatality of sitting here. You get all the motions immediately.